Hey, what is up, guys? Gumzo here, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft and Mines. So, for today, as you can see, I have a house and it has a balcony. So, yay for me! Wow, I feel so accomplished because of that. Now, anyway, the house is not yet finished. I don't have a roof. And if you see here, I have this very, huh, not good looking combinations of colors for my house. That's how I'm gonna put it. Yeah. So here, I planted some seeds, and I'm just waiting for the harvest. But for today, we are going to go find some materials, which means we're gonna go right in that cave over there. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to talk about the topic for today, which will be how to call that? Yeah, um, Android Space Cowboys. So, yeah, that's a new one. So I wanted to talk about this because I remembered watching one of my old favorite movies. I think a lot of people have already watched it. It's called Bladerunner. It's very popular. And if you haven't watched it yet, what have you been doing with your life? And I'm just kidding. So, I was thinking about Blade Runner and how Blackout 2022, which is a Netflix animated short that explains or tries to connect Blade Runner with Blade Runner 2049. And from there, I found out that the people who produced the Blackout 2022 were actually the people who made Cowboy Bebop. So, got me thinking about, let's talk about that. So, first, if you haven't watched Blade Runner yet, I suggest that you do because it's a very great film and it has a lot of philosophical questions that, well, basically it really goes well with videos or series like mine where we try to think about really deep thoughts. So, first, I just wanted to introduce a plot. So we are introduced to a former Blade Runner called Deckard. He retired, but he was called upon to try and find four replicants. And replicants are basically androids or artificial humans made from organic material. And the replicants he's after are Nexus 6 models. So they're basically one of the latest models, and they happen to be very intelligent and very strong as per their design. So, as to why these replicants decided to rebel, we don't actually know at the start of the movie, but we find out that the main leader of the replicants, of the rebel replicants, was one named Roy Batty. And his reason for rebelling was that he wanted to find his creator and try to get his lifespan extended because replicants are built with a 4-year lifespan by design. And the reason for this was that, okay, there's a zombie, was because the creators wanted to prevent them from being able to develop empathy. So basically, they were designed with no empathy, making them a sociopath, and that's not their fault. They were just really made that way. But over time, when they start to have memories and experiences, they become more and more human. So that the lifespan limit actually prevents that from happening. And as to why you would want to do that, I have no idea. Because first of all, um, if you were to create a utility, you wouldn't even give it the ability or the capability to have pain, to feel pain, emotions, etc., things like that. So first of all, I question the design of the replicants themselves. If you just wanted to build something like an android that is perfectly suited to be utilized by humans, then wouldn't you just have made one that has a protocol that obeys humans and makes sure that they don't have the ability or the thought process of rebellion? So that's my first question. And then my next question is, why would you build something with an expiration date? I mean, wouldn't it be useful for your creation to be able to survive a very long time so that you can maximize the utility or the use you get from it? Especially if you're talking about labor. I mean, you want the kind of labor that can work all day, all night without breaking down, without getting worn out, as you can say. And another thing that bothers me is that why make them look human to begin with? I mean, like, what if they just made it like a zombie, like this one? So I don't feel anything towards this zombie. I just want to kill it because it's in my way. I feel no remorse from getting rid of it. They're just disturbances, a nuisance that takes a while to kill, but there we go. Zombie down. So why not just design something that does not force people to acknowledge them or does not force people to feel to question, there we go, to question the morality of these androids or these replicants, right? So if you were to ask me, I think that the people who created the replicants just couldn't get over their own hubris, or what they call human ego. They had to design something that looks like them, or as much as possible resembled them, either for the purpose of being able to integrate to society easier, where people don't necessarily have to be afraid of walking robots. So that's fine. But then again, there's a problem where you gave it the ability to have human emotions, to feel empathy, love, and fear. Which is, although that being the key difference, they are in a way emotionally immature. That's what you call it. That's why the designed test to find out if someone is a replicant was what they call the void comp test, where hypothetical questions are asked to try and, how you say, get a kind of reaction that is either very human or altogether something else. So, going into the space cowboy part of it, I kept wondering, would they actually call it bounty if a replicant were to, let's say, go on a rebellion and they end up needing to catch someone? They call it, would they call it bounty? Because in the movie they call it retirement. They're going to retire these replicants. So as you can see, the movie itself does its best to even make sure that the uh, language used to describe replicants and the way they talk about it is that they are basically robots. They're not human. So Blade Runners like Deckard, whose job it is to retire these replicants, all um, have to keep reminding themselves that they are not hunting down humans. They're not um, that they're not trying to take down people. They're just trying to get robots off the street. But then again, the reason why Deckard retired was that um, he once had to capture Nexus 3 models who was, as he said, it was the job was too smooth and they were too human, and it really bothered him. So in that idea, if they would have just said that it was a bounty instead of saying that it was a retirement, then would they still feel that conflict, or would they have just taken it like just a job? Because when you try to dehumanize something or someone in particular just because you don't like them or they're just different from you also end up with this moral problem where once you actually have to do something like take someone out, and you start to think, am I doing the right thing? That you no longer can convince yourself that you're just basically just doing a maintenance job like that. So yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. That you're just doing a maintenance job. Then it blurs the line between human and replicant. And the thing is, even with humans, like people, we don't really treat them any better. Like, if we don't like someone just because they're different from us, they look different, we don't really treat them any better than we treat replicants in the movie, as we have watched, um, as we have watched, or as I have watched. That's why in Blackout 2022, the I'm not gonna spoil too much, but basically in Blackout 2022, the Replicant Rebellion uh, had this idea where if they can just keep their identity safe, that they can prevent people from finding out that they're replicants, then they basically can just blend in very easily. And if you ask me, if they were designed to be able to blend in to society, then it's either a very, very poor choice of design, or or they were actually supposed to be a subset of human that would be mass produced to, well, be of service to real humans or real people. I'll put it like that. So now that I think about it, um, the more you dig into the idea of Blade Runner and the things you get to see in the movie itself, you start to imagine, like, if we can treat something that isn't human but looks human really, really badly, but then we can't treat actual people, or, oh, okay, let me put it this way. If we treat actual people badly, then who's to say we wouldn't treat human like things any better? And another question that raises up is that, do artificial life have rights? And I'm completely lost. I don't know how to get out here. That's fine. I got iron. Needed to get an iron, and we got some gold and some lapis. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the lapis. I'll learn later on. Let me just try to get out of here first. Where is this? Where am I? Okay, I'm perfectly lost now. I didn't think to put a mark on how I'm gonna get back up, but that's fine. Okay, so just to continue, I think I can just keep going then. I can just dig up, I guess. Yeah. So let me think. What am I going to do for now? How am I gonna get back up? Pretty sure I fell from somewhere. It's not there. It's not here. Did I go past the lava? I don't remember anymore. But anyway, so now going to the point about the space cowboys. Hmm. I really like the idea that you would just treat these replicants as more or less, well, bounties, because it adds a layer to the story. Because if we were to say like, oh, the replicants did this, this, and that, they have sinned against humanity, where we start to talk as they are like humans instead of androids, that they're not just robots, then it becomes a lot easier. There we go. It becomes a lot easier to just think of it as, okay, they're a menace to society, and there are good replicants and there are bad replicants, and now we start to see that we're starting to distinguish them one from the other. Because the thing with Blade Runner is that just because some of them rebelled, some of them did some very bad things and killed a lot of people, Earth decided to ban replicants, like all of them from the Earth. That they are only allowed in colony planets, but the ones that are in Earth or travel to Earth to find their creator would be hunted down be and retired, as they would say. So there's a question there that I would ask, like, if you could meet your creator and if you had the chance to ask him, why did you make me this way? Wouldn't you risk it? Or would you have preferred not to know? If I were, if it was up to me, I would say that regardless if I bothered trying to find my creator, I don't think I'd understand his reasoning. But the thing is, these replicants, or yeah, I like replicants, but I can't call them androids too. Basically, they started to think that, are they supposed to just be subservient? They were given great strength, high intelligence, and they're very, very durable. Really made for space travel and space labor. Is that all they have in life? I mean, they were given a 4-year lifespan. And the thing is, if you think about it, if you only had a 4-year lifespan and you're supposed to just spend it being a laborer or basically a slave, I mean, that's a different context altogether because you're human. You have rights. And replicants, they are human like, but they don't have those rights. But then again, who are we to say who has rights and who doesn't? So gets all convoluted because even the people, even people who have the same rights as us, we don't necessarily respect their rights. What more? What more? Um, Robots. Yeah, what more robots? So, but then again, it just keeps. I just keep wondering, like, who are we to say that our right as human beings trump or negate the rights of artificial humans? Because, come on, let's face it, someday people are going to start making artificial humans, either through cloning or test tube babies. We've heard a lot about that. So, basically, this is more of a morality lesson about life. Like, who are we to say that we have the power to grant life and then take it away? And we have the power to give life an expiration. So, Yeah, that's a lot to think about, isn't it? So, anyway, I think I got a lot of things done. We killed some zombies. I was able to get iron, and we got lapis here, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. But wait, let's make a sword. I want to make a sword, a better sword, before I do anything else. Okay, there we go. Guess my sword's about to break. That's fine. Okay, so I think for today it was very productive. I really just wanted to explore a cave and then talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. So, for now, I guess, yeah, I'll leave you with that. Well, if you have any comments, please let me know because this is a topic that I think is very, very interesting. I want to know what other people think about it. Like, if you were to create an artificial human, would you give it rights? And if you're not gonna give it rights, who's to say you have the right to give rights, right? That's a question for another time. So I will see you again next time. Cheers. Bye bye.